I'm Howie DiSavino III. I am 19 years old and I've been driving for about 7 years now. I love adrenaline. If I'm in the car with my sister, you know, I'll hit the gas in her car really quick just to see her reaction. Out here, I'll get on the RDR and drift the RDR and have fun. I do live on a farm. We have 3 miles of trails I can ride on.
He got his first four-wheeler at 4 years old, so he learned to drive right here in the field behind me, driving around, and then got his motorcycle when he was 6. And so Howie's always gone fast.
I first got interested in driving when I went to the Richmond race and saw these little arena cars, and I was only 8 years old, and then I was like, wow, that's really cool, and I was like, hey, Dad, we should get into it.
Well, all of our kids, we would encourage them to live whatever dream they wanted to live, and you know, being a NASCAR driver at 8 seems rather lofty, but I told him, sure, if that's what he wants to do, we'll do that.
Howie's family really didn't have a background or that much of an interest in racing until Howie expressed an interest at a very young age.
He begged and begged to get a race car, and actually his mother wouldn't let him get one until he was 13 years old, and then we bought the first race car. And when he first got in a late model, Howie couldn't even drive a car, didn't know how to drive a stick shift. So we put him in second gear, pushed him forward, and he drove around the track, first time ever, not knowing what he's doing. And those days I can go back and look and think, at that point I figured out that that's what he wanted to do for a living.
I just love speed, so I was like, that'd be awesome.
I started with Howie in the arena racing world 7 years ago. And first as a fan, my daughter went to school with him, and she came home and said that there was a race car driver in her class. I proceeded to laugh. I thought it was very funny, but I had no idea he was going to be where he is now.
It was very clear, like, there's something special here with kind of the right people, the right sponsors, with the right opportunities. The driver, the kid, seemed to have the right stuff.
My very first race, yeah, that one was a crazy one. We started, I think, last in the B main, and we worked our way up really quickly. And you know, I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, I'm doing really good at this. Like, this is awesome. Even though I'm in the slow group, I'm still doing pretty good. And I didn't know too much about racing, so for my qualifying, you know, I messed up. I did 1 lap instead of 2, and I was like, oh, well, I didn't know that. And so it was a big learning process. So my team, when we first started, we were just a bunch of guys that really had no clue what we were doing. We're just going fast around the track. And we were practicing, got really fast, and then eventually we just started to learn more and more about the cars. So yeah, I started when I was 13, so that's about 2 years before I can even get my learner's permit. I didn't really know what to expect. I was more just like, hey, let's try it out. You know, NASCAR is everyone's dream when you start racing, and after a while, you start to doubt those dreams because you're like, you know, am I good enough? What will happen in the future?
His first year, when he got to Southside Speedway, we saw talent, but he didn't have good equipment, and so all the talent in the world with bad equipment doesn't do well. Came back the next week, got a little better, and consequently, he was second in points at Southside Speedway for his second full season, so that was a big jump from where he started. Racing
at Southside really grew me into a better driver because not only is it a hard track, it's a short track, and the guys there they will get rough with you as well. So it was definitely a fun time to race there.
Well, Howie has a pretty awesome relationship with his team. One of the things we pride ourselves on and we shoot for is that every team we've raced for, we want them to always want us to come back. When someone partners with you and sponsors with you, it is probably the single greatest compliment one could give. Not only are they giving their resources, their financial backing to you, they're also giving their time to you. So Bud spends a lot of time on Howie, promoting him, helping him grow. They fund his team. We couldn't do it if we didn't have sponsors and partners like Bud's and other partners.
The thing that we noticed early on, though, was how quickly I felt like those teams and those fans gravitated towards the DiSavinos because they could tell, of course, they didn't really know what they were doing in the early days, but that they were doing it the right way and trying to be good people and trying to be good racers. And I think that a lot of folks in the local community of racing gravitated toward them and soon became fans.
It was easy to be Howie's friend, you know. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a great sense of humor. I've watched him consistently beat veterans at Southside Speedway, veterans that have raced that track for longer than Howie's been alive.
A lot of NASCAR drivers nowadays are younger and starting out and when they're 19, 20, 18, at a low age. But I feel pretty honored to be able to say that I'm a NASCAR driver at the age of 19 years old. I see myself going straight to the top, straight to the Cup Series. I don't want to stop till I'm there. I want to run there and run against the big names and be able to prove a point that a small guys can make it up there.